talked a little bit Sunday. It wasn't your greatest game. When you review it, is there a theme or things you could point to of like, this was what's going on?
I mean, there's a couple things, and I think more than anything, it's just a mindset, of going out and when you get an opportunity, defense does their job. So you got to capitalize on those situations and execute. For me at quarterback, it just comes down to being aggressive and making the right throws and being accurate with the ball and stuff. So that's really just what it came down to. And so it's a 4-quarter game of you have to play team football, and like I said, when our defense does those kinds of great things and gets stops, you got to capitalize on it, especially against a good team like the Chiefs. And so I had to learn the hard way. But I mean, for me, it's I go and watch the film, and I'm real with myself, and don't dwell on it or anything. Got to learn from it. But man, we got another game Sunday for another opportunity, and so it's another shot for me to go and prove to myself that I can grow and get better. So
there was one play where they walked an 8th guy into the box, and then they added a 9th guy to the box. In that situation, they're giving you that kind of a look. Do you have the ability to audible to a pass play and go to something different? What are your limitations at the line?
Usually we just have an answer built into the play, and so if we do have like an all-out blitz or something, we usually have an answer of where I should be hitting or where I should be going. And there's very rare occasions where we walk up to the line and we get a look and it's, oh shoot, they got us. And then I'm supposed to randomly make up an audible. There's nothing like that. We usually always have an answer for pressures, all-out blitz, and things like that. So that's on me to get to the right guy.
So much of what you do and had success with is timing based. When you're cycling through so many different receivers, what kind of challenge is that to get on the same page timing wise? And then a week like this week, when there are going to probably be some new faces in there, do you do more, stay after practice, anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, it's huge. When you got some young guys that come in and you're used to throwing to obviously like BA, Debo, JJ, and just you understand how they move in routes and their landmark and depths and just the timing of a concept and route. And then you get new guys coming in that you haven't got many reps with. It is tough. And so I think, this week at practice, throwing to Jake Cowing, more with Ricky, Chris Conley, those guys, it's been good just to, see how they move and they're getting in and out of their breaks and me being on time and leading them. So those are huge things that, you got to build on and rep throughout the week and practice. And so, during the game, man, if you get guys get thrown in there randomly, it is tough. But at the same time, like you just got to make it happen. And there's always coaching of, hey, this is the amount of steps, the depth, the landmark. So you can go off those things. But at the same time, everybody runs a little bit differently. So it's huge for a quarterback and receiver to be on the same page in that regard.
Talk to them about, what you like on certain looks, if they have, multiple ways they can run it. Have you talked to those guys about, on certain plays you like it this way?
Yeah, I mean, this week at practice it's been good. Just getting into certain situations and reps where we're thinking I'm gonna go to this receiver in a certain look, and then after practice like running a couple routes or talking to those guys about, hey, this is what I'm expecting and how are you seeing it as a receiver, and we just get on the same page, and I think that's huge. So. Like I said, we've got some young guys that are stepping into those roles, and for me, it's huge understanding how they think and then vice versa. So it's very vital.
As someone who did step into a role, kind of thrown into a role like that, do you think that you're kind of uniquely qualified to talk to them about that and help them navigate all of that?
For sure. I mean, I think, just the 2.5 years of playing so far in this system, understanding my timing, my rhythm within this offense, with new guys coming in, I can definitely tell them like, hey, this is what BA has done really well, JJ, Debo, and this is where I'm expecting you guys to be. So they're all ears. They listen real well. They're willing to be coached, which is great. And more than anything, we just want to win. So we got the right core group of guys, young guys coming in that are willing to do, what it takes and listen. So that's been the blessing with the guys that I'm working with.
How is the process of determining where to throw the ball different against man coverage as opposed to zone coverage?
I would just say man coverage, it depends. Are they doubling a guy? Are they not? What's the leverage? And then what's our matchup? Is it a linebacker on a tight end or safety on a tight end? Like just there's a lot of things that go into that. and what's my best matchup in this situation. And obviously, there's a lot of other things that come into factor with that, with safety, leverage, and all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, man coverage is trying to find your best matchup and a guy that can create separation. Versus zone coverage, you're just trying to be on time and throw to spots and windows. So I feel like that's like the biggest difference.
Topic on.
Sorry.
Okay.
Go ahead.
You seem like a guy that's pretty big on his faith. Having had a tough game against Kansas City last week and needing to kind of recalibrate, refocus, having to go up against the Cowboys, but kind of in the same scenario or situation as you just touched on with some of the younger guys as targets. How have you kind of relied on your faith to kind of get your mind back where it needs to be going into this one before the bye week?
Yeah, it's huge. Obviously, I know who I am and what my foundation's built on. So, for me, you go through some tough games and games that you really want to win for the guys that you're playing with, the fan base, everything. Like, you take pride in that and the position that you're playing. But at the same time, it's all, for me, I look at it as, man, this is all about growth and putting my faith in God and understanding that this whole thing's a process. I'm not going to get the result right now and then. I got to work for it and grow. And maybe he's preparing me and our team for something down the road. And so that's how I'm looking at it. That's the hope that I have. But more than anything, that also pushes me to, be on top of my stuff today and push the guys around me, bring up the young guys, and continue to chip away every day at our process. We lost last week. We're not where we want to be, but we understand that we have what it takes, and we just got to keep going one day at a time, and that's the faith that I have in. So.
Topic on Sports Talk Radio is depending on how you play, will you get a $43 million a year extension or 58 or 62 or whatever? I don't know. I mean, it all sounds pretty good, but I mean, what does that even get into the back of your mind, during the season? No, I mean, for me, man, I had to play better against the Chiefs last week, and for me, I'm like, dude, I got to be better for my team right now, for the Dallas Cowboys coming up. I'm always trying to find an edge to myself in my game, not thinking about what next year holds. Like, dude, we're trying to win this Sunday and trying to get our record to get going up. And that's where my mindset's at. I'm focused on my team in this year, and that's final. That's it.
Brock, have a relationship with Dak where you would text him after he signed a $60 million a year deal, or are your interactions limited to just the 2 times you faced off?
Yeah, that just playing the game is all I've done interaction-wise and seeing him after. So that's it.
Let me ask you this: because you've now faced the Cowboys in regular season and playoffs, so you kind of have a sense of what this rivalry is and everything. Going into those games, did people hit you up to try to fill you in on 49er Cowboys? Did like Steve Young or somebody try to get you fired up to beat the Cowboys?
It was more so just like our team meetings and stuff. College showed some games from like the 90s and the playoff game that they had played in 2021 and just what it meant going into our playoff game in 2022. So that sort of filled me in on, oh man, there's a lot of history with these two organizations, and I remember growing up just watching some games with them, and it just meant so much every time they played and faced off. So for me, it was the same thing as last year, and then even for this game, man, Sunday Night Football against Dallas Cowboys as a 49er, it's really special, and so we all take pride in that and are thankful to be able to play in this game. And yeah, it's a rivalry, so there's nothing better than that.
On the ball to Conley against McDuffie one-on-one, it looked like you had Kittle open on the out to the flat. It seems like your natural thing is to be aggressive. Do you have to fight aggressiveness, attacking downfield with, conservative checking down? How do you balance that?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's, situational football. What's the matchup? Where are we at in the game? Trying to move the chains? Are we trying to get a chunk here on a matchup that we like? It's handling all those kinds of things. And, for me, I like the press matchup against McDuffie with Chris. Chris and we've hit a lot of plays like that at practice, and so we just didn't connect on it. Looking back on film, he had George in the flat to maybe move the chains and get us in third and manageable. Those are all decisions and factors that, you got to watch the film and be like, all right, how can I be better next time? And so for me, I look at it not going, I should have done this or that, but looking at it like, all right, the next time I'm in this situation, let's think about it, and am I going to be aggressive, or am I going to take this check down here and manage it a little bit better? So those are the things that I watch in film. Thanks, guys.